So it may be timely to revisit a story we brought you last year on the debt reduction program, a simple scheme which promises to make you debt-free as quickly as possible. Since that story aired, hundreds of families around Australia have started using the program and say the results are astonishing.
What Christmas is about, isn't it? Spend the money you haven't got.
They come back from holidays, haven't been making any money, come back to a lot of debts and just have to tighten the belt.
So I just got my visa bill the other day and I thought, oh no, I have to pay that as soon as I can.
We bought too many Christmas presents, holidayed too hard and spent far too much at the summer sales. It's easy to get carried away when you're paying on credit, but eventually the post-Christmas hangover sets in.
When the first bill comes in, people think, oh, that's not too bad, because usually most of it doesn't end up on the first statement. But when the second statement comes in, then they say, well, what am I going to do now?
According to financial consultant Trevor Oliver, the simple way to clear Christmas credit cards or any accumulated debt is through the debt reduction program, a scheme which first featured on Today Tonight last April.
We can get most people debt-free so fast that they find it hard to believe. They can pay their bills without worrying.
Since that story went to air, hundreds of people have adopted Trevor's scheme and many are now debt and worry-free.
How much easier is life at the moment?
It's great. It's really good, really good. You don't have to worry about, do I have enough money to pay this bill or that bill?
There was nothing really hard to it at all. And that was the astonishing thing.
The debt reduction scheme is remarkably straightforward. The client's debts are refinanced into one loan account at a lower interest rate. Then their pay is paid directly into that account.
What we do is channel all of their income, their salary, any child endowment they get, any rental or board income, into that debt. So every day when they earn money, it's being paid off the debt straight away, which is lowering the interest rate which is accruing against it.
Living expenses are taken out of the loan account, but as many expenses as possible are paid by credit card.
We try and make most of those living expenses using a 55-day interest-free credit card. That enables them to use the bank's money while their income is going into the debt and saving them on interest.
What do you think the success rate would be for the debt reduction program?
The people that follow our advice and work with us is 100% success rate.
For us personally, me personally, I think it's a brilliant scheme. It's very, very good. I've worked for AGC and I've had a little bit to do with finance in the past, and that's why I always thought, oh, we knew what we were doing.
Ross and Jodie Clark are just one of hundreds of couples who've tried the scheme. This time last year, they were almost $90,000 in debt. They had a business loan, owed money on some property, and had debts outstanding on 4 different credit cards. After paying their bills and living expenses, they were left with just $10 or $20 to live on.
There were some fortnights, some weeks when we really had to scrape it together and we would have nothing left.
You know, people would go on a holiday and they'd think it was a big event. Well, for us to have a pizza or a video or something was a big event.
So things were really very tight?
Oh, it was very, very skinny.
But after seeing Today Tonight's story last year, Ross and Jodie decided to give the debt reduction program a try.
Yeah, okay.
Jodie was pregnant with their first child and they'd soon have to survive on just one income, so it was more important than ever to pay off their debts.
Just to make things a bit easier, because babies cost a lot of money.
There you go.
Now, 9 months on, baby Holly has arrived and Ross and Jodie are completely debt-free. A lot of their $90,000 debt was paid off through the sale of property, but the rest was cleared simply by applying the debt reduction program.
Without the program, how long do you think it might have taken you to reach this point of becoming debt-free?
I hate to think. Years, literally, maybe 5 years. Just a long time, I think.
The Clarks now have $10,000 in savings and believe they'll have enough to buy their own home by next year.
We'll hit it, there's no doubt about it.
So you think the debt reduction program has contributed towards you getting your first home more quickly?
Oh, definitely. There is no doubt about it.
Well, we'd tried to reduce our debts ourselves and hadn't been able to get anywhere for a long time. And we decided that we really needed to be debt-free before we got married, so we thought we needed some help doing it.
$30.20.
When we first met Esther and Tony Andrews last April, they'd started the debt reduction program and were trying to clear $5,500 worth of debt before their wedding. They did it in less than 3 months.
I thought it was great. I just couldn't believe how well it worked, you know, just through following instructions.
This one.
But since then, they've had 2 weddings, one for Esther's family in Australia and the other for Tony's in London, and a honeymoon in Jamaica. By the time they arrived back in Australia, they owed $12,000. Then, when Esther fell pregnant, they decided it was time to go back onto the debt reduction program.
With Esther being pregnant now, she'll be giving up work fairly shortly, and it was a concern, but we started to whittle it away. So,
in the 4 months since they started the program a second time, they've reduced their debt by $4,000. So $4,000 in that amount of time is pretty good. Good going.
It's good, yeah. We're going well. We're sort of on target to be debt-free, I think, by July.
And the debt against that was?
As always, it costs money to make money. The debt reduction program is $100 for the initial consultation and about another $250 a year for ongoing advice. But those who've tried the scheme say the only thing you stand to lose is your debt.
for a couple $100, the gain you can get out of it, it's very well worth it. It's money well spent.
So simple, they explain it so easily, and you know, you don't have to be a genius to be able to follow it. It's great. You know, if you wanted to get rid of your debt, no problems, you could do it.
And Trevor Oliver's office is in Brisbane, but viewers in other areas can buy a post pack on the debt reduction program for $10 by contacting Dollars Count on 07 3350 6666. Well, next, how safe are school crossings? Brisbane's lollipop ladies scared off by reckless driving.